Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at the data card, the CE-19 if you will, for the Xiegu G90 amateur radio and how to set this card up. So what are we looking at here? This is a little 7-sided card here that, it exposes all of its electronic goodness inside for you to be able to peer in and see what it's all about. And so what this is in effect set to do is you can take your G90 or a couple other compatible Xiegu radios and connect them to your computer or your PC or even a Raspberry Pi so you can run some data modes. For example, FT8 perhaps being the most popular, but there's others like FT4, JS8 call, among others. And then with these data modes, you can be able to transmit data without using words and not using single sideband for your communication to be able to use otherwise low power QRP settings to be able to transmit messages and communicate around the world with your Xiegu G90. So in order to get started, there's a few other items that we're going to have ready to be able to get this project off the ground. First of all, obviously you will need your FCC or other issuing body from your country to be able to give you an amateur radio license if you actually want to be able to use this. And at least in the U.S., you're going to need to be a general class operator or higher. I know there is one category, I believe it's for 10 meters, where a technician can use this radio. But to get the maximum enjoyment, you're going to need to be a general or higher class level operator. Obviously, you're going to need your G90 radio, a power supply, and an antenna. The other more subtle thing that was included with your G90 whenever you received it was a special cable that goes USB to a TRS connection that maybe is still in your box, and hopefully you didn't lose, because you'll need to find it and pull it out to use for this. And that looks like this. That's supposed to be blue in the on that USB connection there. And then you're going to need a computer with separate 3.5 millimeter TRS jacks for a speaker or headphones and a microphone. And if your computer doesn't have it, you might have an external sound card or a TRRS to TRS splitter adapters. A couple ways you might be able to have that set up, depending upon your specific computer or the device that you're connecting this to. And so for me, this is the sound card that I've got here. It just plugs into USB to my laptop, because my laptop otherwise, if I take it in the field, does not have a easy connection for this. So a little word of caution here. This Xiegu CE-19 card is not a plug-and-play item right out of the package. It's actually going to require a little bit of tinkering, and that's why I'm making this video for you guys today, because it is a small project. Not hard, just it is a project that will take a couple minutes of your time to put together. So the tools that you're going to need to do this, we're going to need a soldering iron, rosin core solder, a third hand or other similar soldering tool, wire strippers, preferably ones that are good for really small gauge wire, and then some heat shrink tubing and or electrical tape, and you may want some colored electrical tape if you're feeling a little fancy. So when you unbox the data card, what you get in it is going to be obviously the data card itself. You're going to have 3 of these 3.5 millimeter headphone-like wires, but you'll notice the other end of these wires just has bare exposed wiring and there is no connector. They do give you 3 connectors that you could connect onto them. However, you probably won't actually need those, and you can go ahead and set those aside into your electronic parts bin. Maybe you'll find a use for those on another project, because chances are today you probably won't need them. You're going to find a DIN cable. Makes you think back to the old days of your PC 2 connections for your laptop. For your keyboard and your mouse. And then there's some paperwork and a guide that comes with it that is marginally useful that's contained in it. And that's why, again, I'm making this video, because I was not completely satisfied with the guide that came with the radio. I forgot to mention, you also are going to need a multimeter just to do some other verifications before we go forward. So the basic setup, so you have some idea of where we're headed with this project here. We got a PC on the left, and I've got a red for the microphone and green for a speaker port on the back of your PC, but that could be a Raspberry Pi or something else. Then we've got our 7-sided CE-19 breakout board. We really only need 2 parts to it. There's going to be the port that's labeled AF Con, or AF connection. And then we have this other port here labeled from X5105. I know it doesn't say G90, but that's the port that we need. And we'll plug that DIN cable from the X5105 port into the back of our G90 radio. And then from the AF Con port on the card, we're going to use a special wire that we're going to make out of those 3.5 millimeter headphone type wires. And then one of those is going to go to the speaker port, and the other of those is going to go to the microphone port on the back of your computer or your sound card. And then the other cable that you're going to need also goes into a USB port on your computer, is the blue-ended cat control cable that will go into the side of your G90, and that will go into the lower of the 2 ports on the left side if you're looking at it from the front. Obviously, I'm not showing the power connection and the antenna to your G90, as well as any grounding that you're going to do from the radio to your shack or wherever you have this. Since it says QRP, you could take this essentially anywhere and run it in a variety of circumstances. So now, this is really the holy grail of why I'm making this video. So the documentation I thought was a little lacking for what came in the box here. And so what we need to make is this hybrid beast of a Y cord here. And so I drew up this diagram here to hopefully make this make more sense. Now, I would encourage you to use a multimeter to make sure that the tip ring and shank on the wires that are supplied to you out of the box actually match. You'll have to modify this diagram if for some reason your red wire does not go to the tip, the white does not go to the ring, and the black does not go to the shank. That's how everything is set here. It's how it was on the set that I received. But obviously, you may receive different color wires, or it may get wired backwards by mistake. So just double check with a continuity test on a multimeter. So what we've got here is we've got the 3 black ends all get soldered together. That's pretty straightforward here. Those are all your ground connections. We're going to just, all those get soldered together at a single solder joint. Now, where it gets messy, if you will, is we're going to take 2 of those cords, and we're going to set one of those as our microphone cord and one of those as our speaker or headphone cord, red and green. In the pictures I show you of mine later, I don't have green tape. I had to use blue tape, so just keep that in mind. So you might want to designate that. And then the other end is what's going to connect to that actual CE9 card. So we're going to take the red wire coming out of the end destined for the CE9 card, and that's going to connect to both, keyword both, the red and the white wire that are coming out of the tip that's destined for the microphone jack. That's the top connection that's showing there. I show the red and white split is the dashed red line. It doesn't really go so well to show the red and white together there. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And then the next wire down is the white wire coming off of the ring connector off the AE con port, goes to both the red and the white wire that goes towards your headphone jack. So there's going to be 3 wires, 3 wires, and 3 wires at all connections, and there's 3 solder joints. It's just going to be a matter of trying to splice all that together. And this is where a third hand and some electrical tape, in my opinion, neatness does count here. You want to make sure you get a healthy amount of solder in these joints to make sure they're reinforced and they're strong, because you've got 1 wire coming in on one side and 2 wires out the other. And depending upon how much flex you're going to have to this, you just want to make sure you have a nice, strong, sturdy joint for conducting current, and you can minimize any loss through your joint. So go ahead and pause this. If you take a screenshot of this, hit the print screen button on your computer, paste it into Paint, and then print it out if that will help you while you're soldering this on your workbench or wherever else. This is the main reason why I did this. I want to share this slide with you specifically because it took me a little bit to draw this out, and I thought I might be able to save you guys some time so you can actually get to enjoying the card and separate from the solder project that is required to make this work. So here's my finished Y cable. You can see I've got a healthy amount of electrical tape and some internal heat shrink tubing in the middle there. This is definitely an unusual configuration cable. You're not going to find this off the shelf at your local big box electronics store. So a little bit of imagination is required here as you go to set this up. But hopefully if you're into amateur radio like I am, you've got some healthy appreciation for some soldering and basic electronics. Like I said earlier, I don't have any green electrical tape, so I put blue. And so I got red on the top right there for the microphone port of my sound card and blue for the speaker jack. And then the black end is what will go to my CE-19 data card. So here's how that looks all put together there. I've got my USB sound card there at the bottom, the CE-19 breakout data card there, and the wire goes up to it. Then coming out of the bottom end of that data card on the left side is the DIN cable that goes into the back side of the Xiegu G90. So here I've got a laptop plugged in here on my desk, and you can see I've got the sound card plugged into one USB port, and the other USB port is the cat control cable that will connect to the side port on the radio. And that cable plugs in on the lower of those two ports on the left side as you look at it. Now, if all of this has seemed like it's a little cumbersome, it's a little bit messy, there is another option out there that exists, and that's by XGGComms. And they sell a all-in-one kit, if you will, that's very cleanly set up here. It's very cleanly wired. It's basically a plug-and-play solution. It's everything you would think this CE-19 card would be, and perhaps even better because it's a very clean setup. You have one single USB connection to your computer, and then you've got the DIN cable to the back side of your G90, and then your cat control cable to the side of your G90. They've got a couple other cheaper variations, but this all-in-one cable is $99, no external sound card required. Plug it in, it just works, it's clean, it's easy to pack in your radio go bag. It makes life easy. If you're setting this up for a desktop or a shack setup, it's just fewer wires, fewer stuff to go wrong. Everything's in a sealed box. You don't have that open interface card. However, it does not have an extra DIN port that you could connect to the Xiegu amplifier. That's probably the only weakness of this cable here that the CE-19 does allow, and the CE-19 is guaranteed to work with your radio. It is a Xiegu product, and this is a third-party product here, so take that as you wish. But this is a true plug-and-play solution. As you can see, there's mine right there. So I actually own both. I've had this cable now for well over a year, and it's performed great. So there's going to be some other computer software that's required. First of all, the fundamental software, at least on a PC, is going to be FL-Rig, and then I can use WSJTX or JS8 Call and have either of those programs interface with FL-Rig, which is then controlling the Xiegu G90 through the USB port, going through the cat control cable and the sound card through the CE-19 breakout box, as you saw in the previous diagram. It's all there. It works. You can have fun setting up with FT8 calls, JS8, FT4. There's a number of other data modes you can experiment with, Whisper, and so forth. So that opens up a whole nother world of amateur radio with your computer. Just takes a little bit of prep work for you, and you're good to go. So if you got any questions or comments, go ahead and put in the comments down below. We'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day. Bye.